Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Matt. And today we're talking about Festa Junina, a Brazilian festival that lasts the entire month of June. And today we're looking at part 2.
Right.
So you had a bit of an advantage over me in part 1 because you know how to pronounce some of these Portuguese words.
Yes.
Because you had a Brazilian girlfriend before.
Right. Yeah.
So what else did you learn from her about Brazil?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't learn about any of the celebrations because when I was dating her, we were in Barcelona, which is in Spain.
Okay.
Although that's close to Portugal, where they speak Portuguese, I didn't really learn much about, Portuguese culture or Brazilian culture. But I did learn to sing some songs, and she taught me some basic things about Brazil.
Okay.
One thing is that I learned that I don't want to move to Brazil. For a while, we got pretty serious, and I was thinking, where do I want to travel to next? And she said, you should come to Sao Paulo, which is in Brazil. And I was like, ooh, maybe I will. After discussing what life was like in Sao Paulo, she told me that her father's car had to be bulletproofed.
What? Wow.
Which just means that it has to be so strong that the metal and the glass, if you fire a gun into it, the bullet can't go through it. And I said, why is that? She said, well, because it's very, very common for people to be driving in the street, and when they stop, somebody will come with a gun and say, get out of your car.
Wow, okay.
And if you don't, they will shoot you. So you need a bulletproof car there.
Okay.
After that, I thought, maybe I'm not that fond of this girl. Not so fond that I'm going to go to Brazil and risk my life. So I decided to come to Taiwan, where it's very safe.
Right, okay. I don't think that would happen to you in Taiwan.
It's very...
You don't need a bulletproof car here.
Yes, not at all. Okay, why don't we get into today's lesson?
In modern times, Festa Junina is considered a celebration of rural life, so many people dress in classic country style. Men typically wear straw hats and patterned shirts to look like farmers, while women wear their hair in pigtails and put on printed cotton dresses to portray country girls. As for children, they enjoy classic activities like three-legged races and ring toss. The festivities also feature plenty of music and dancing. Every year, people dressed in costumes join a kind of square dance called the quadrilla. Many dances tell stories set to music known as forró. This music is played with accordions and triangles and accompanied by lyrics about the difficult life of farmers in the countryside. In spite of the hard-knock lyrics, the music is cheerful and lively.
Hello everyone, today we're looking at Festa Junina,
Oh, good.
a Brazilian festival that lasts the entire month of June. And we're looking at part 2 today.
Your Portuguese is getting really
We're
good.
fluent in no time.
No time at all. In modern times, Festa Junina is considered a celebration of rural life. So many people dress in classic country style. Okay, so the word rural is an adjective, which means connected with or like the countryside. So they dress in country kind of clothes because they are trying to look like they're from the countryside. So that's what rural means compared to urban. So urban means connected with the city, or like being in a big city, or like something that's from a big city. We'll call that urban. So we have urban and rural. So an example sentence for rural, the rural area doesn't have many stores, but the air is clean and the people are friendly.
Okay.
That's very typical, right? When you go to a rural area, people are just so much more friendly and are willing to talk to you and very kind.
People aren't as busy and in a hurry as they are in a city, in an urban area, where they don't have any time to talk.
People are rushing around. They have no time for you. You could be on the street bleeding and they will step over you.
Okay. Men typically wear straw hats and patterned shirts to look like farmers. Well, women wear their hair in pigtails and put on printed cotton dresses to portray country girls. Okay. As for children, they enjoy classic activities like three-legged races and ring toss.
Three-legged race. Have you ever been in a three-legged race before?
I think I have, yeah. I think as a kid, sometimes we would have those at like our school sports day.
Yeah.
We would have some strange races like that.
Yeah, so the sad part is only people with 3 legs can compete. So there's not a lot of people in school. So you used to have 3 legs?
Yeah, I did.
You used to have 3 legs. Now, a three-legged race is when 2 people get together and they will tie the middle legs in together. And then you have to run with your leg tied to somebody
so you
else.
have to work together in order to go quickly.
Work.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so they portray these things. So to portray is a vocabulary word, and it's a verb which means to depict or to act as, and it's usually in a work of art or literature. Is you can portray something in a book or in a story. In this case, they are portraying rural people or people from the countryside by wearing these clothes.
Okay, right, okay.
So for example, Henry has portrayed Superman in several films. So Henry Cavill is actually a famous actor,
right.
and he has portrayed or acted as Superman in several films.
Okay. So continuing, the festivities also feature plenty of music and dancing. Every year, people dressed in costumes join a kind of square dance called the quadrilla. Wow, okay, that's a fancy word, quadrilla.
I'm glad I didn't have to say
So
that.
a square dance just means you kind of dance in the pattern of a square, right?
Right, yeah. So I know like square dancing is also in North American sort of rural culture. They also have square dancing, which is associated with country music.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting that in these country areas or rural areas, in different cultures, they also do square dancing.
Interesting.
So we have another vocabulary word here, costume, which is a noun. Clothes typical of a particular country or period of history or suitable for a particular activity. Okay, so for example, something like Halloween, right? So our example sentence for Halloween, Sharon wore a cat costume, right? So that's a particular occasion that you dress up for, which everybody is familiar with. So you wear a costume for that occasion. But you could be in a movie or a play where you're trying to maybe depict, like you said before, somebody from a different time. When they wore different types of clothes, and that would be considered a costume.
Right, and the kids have a theme party where you tell all your friends to dress in a certain way, a costume party.
Oh yeah, like you can have like an 80s party. Everybody has to dress like in really
from the 1980s.
Cool 80s clothes.
Many dances tell stories set to music known as forró. This music is played with accordions and triangles and accompanied by lyrics about the difficult life of farmers in the countryside. In spite of the hard-knock lyrics, the music is cheerful and lively.
Wow, yeah, they definitely have a hard-knock life when you're living on a farm.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of hard work, and it's not easy. It's not an easy life when you're living on a farm. So we have a vocabulary word here, accompany. So in the reading, they're saying that the music accompanies some lyrics about having a tough life on a farm. So to accompany just means to go with something else. Two things kind of go together. So for example, the gift was accompanied by a special card and some chocolates.
Okay, so it came with a card and chocolates. That sounds like a good gift. You get not only a gift, but also a card and chocolates.
Yeah, you know, because you can write something really sweet in the card, like, I love you, baby. I'll never hurt you.
Oh, that's so nice of you, Shane. Thank you.
I'm trying to think what I need to write in my card. Okay.
All right.
Why don't we take a break and I'll figure that out.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天要继续介绍巴西的六月节。在现代啊，六月节被视为乡村生活的庆祝活动，所以很多人会穿经典乡村风格的服装，男生打扮得像农夫，女生则打扮成像乡村女孩这样子。那么单字 rural 它就是形容乡村的、农村的。那么 portray 在这边当动词，表示饰演、扮演或者是描绘、刻画。Matt 老师在解释单字时，他用到 depict，D-E-P-I-C-T 这个动词可以表达描绘、描述或者是刻画。好，课文接着写到说，这些庆祝活动呢，还有很多音乐和舞蹈。那么每年穿着表演服装的人都会参加一种方块舞。那这类的舞蹈呢，很多舞蹈都是讲述故事，都有含有一种音乐，它是用手风琴还有三角铁演奏的，然后里面是伴随着乡村地区农民生活艰难的歌词。虽然这歌词看起来很心酸，可是音乐却是那种很欢乐活泼的那一种。好，文中的 hard knock。它是形容词，形容与困境或是痛苦经验有关的。那么单字 costume， 它表示表演服装，也可以表达可能是某个历史时期的服装。再来 accompany， 它当动词可以表达伴随的意思，那这时候常用被动。那么它也可以表达陪伴或者是为什么来伴奏。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，那这边我们来学习关于穿的各种说法。第一种呢 ，dress 可以用来表达穿着，像是穿着某种形式或风格的衣服啊，打扮，那是做不及物用。我们后面可以接 in 加上名词来表达穿什么什么。举例来说 ，Tammy usually dresses in a white T-shirt and jeans. Tammy 通常是穿着白色 T-shirt 配着牛仔裤，她通常就是这样的打扮。那么比较一下 ，dressed。在后面加上 ed， 这时候它是形容词来形容是穿着某种衣服的，是做什么样打扮的。之后呢，也可以接 in 加上名词。举例来说 ，They are all dressed in black， 他们全都穿着黑色衣服。好，第二个用法，我们可以用 wear 去表达穿，像是穿衣服，还有戴，像是戴首饰啊、戴配件等等。例如 ，She wore a pink dress to the party， 她穿粉红色洋装去参加派对。第三个则是用 put on， 它可以表达穿上衣服的穿上，或者是戴上首饰配件那个戴上的动作，它是及物用法。这时候我们是强调穿戴到身上的动作哦。举例来说。He stopped to put on a raincoat. 他停下来穿雨衣。好，这回到课文中。
No festival is complete without delicious food, and Festa Junina is no exception. Corn is usually featured in many forms, and traditional eats include cornbread, steamed corn, and corn-based pudding.Brazilian-style hot dogs and Portuguese green soup are also dishes enjoyed across the country. Festa Junina is a huge part of Brazil's culture and is well worth experiencing. From small villages to buzzing cities, wherever you go in Brazil during the month of June, you are sure to have a wonderful time.
Welcome back. So before the break, we found out that Festa Junina in modern times is really more about celebrating rural life, in particular like the life of farmers. So a lot of the celebration has to do with singing and dancing and kind of dressing up like a farmer.
Like a farmer, yeah.
Yeah, like a farmer, and just kind of singing about the hard life of being on a farm, and they have big parties. It sounds like fun.
It does sound like a fun time. I like a costume party.
Yeah.
And I like singing and dancing, so I, might have to go next time.
Okay.
No festival is complete without delicious food. And Festa Junina is no exception.
I was starting to wonder, I haven't heard anything about food, and every great party's got really good food and drink, right?
That's right.
So this is no exception.
This is no exception. So an exception is something that doesn't follow the general rule. So in this case, when we say that it's no exception, it means that it does follow the
general rule.
Does follow the rule. So this festival, much like other festivals, has food.
Okay.
For example, Many animals in Africa are powerful hunters, and the lion is no exception. So again, it is not an exception. It does follow the rule. It is also a powerful hunter.
Right, okay, good. Continuing, corn is usually featured in many forms, and traditional eats include cornbread, steamed corn, and corn-based pudding. Oh, okay, interesting. Corn pudding. Okay. Brazilian-style hot dogs and Portuguese green soup are also dishes enjoyed across the country.
Okay.
So they eat green soup.
Corn, green soup, and hot dogs.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Sounds interesting.
I'm imagining the green soup is because of the greens, the leafy vegetables that they use there.
From the harvest.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Festa Junina is a huge part of Brazil's culture and is well worth experiencing. From small villages to buzzing cities, wherever you go in Brazil during the month of June, you're sure to have a wonderful time.
In buzzing cities?
It's vibrant, it's happening.
Very active.
Yeah, there's always things happening.
Doesn't mean there's like lots of bees and flies buzzing
lots
around
of neon lights.
But it does kind of sound like that, right? The city life, when you're in a city, you hear a lot of noise.
Constant activity, always happening.
Okay.
All right, so we have a what do you think question. So you can tell me what you think, and you can tell me what you think.
Who, me?
That's right.
Wow, okay.
So what do you think, Shane? What elements of Festa Junina make it unique?
Well, obviously Festa Junina is unique for a number of reasons. One is that I think it's quite interesting that people living in the modern cities, living in urban areas, are going to want to kind of go back to their roots and celebrate the traditions from the past. Dressing up as a farmer, kind of going into that lifestyle, and just kind of remembering where they're from and thinking about something like a harvest, which, you know, historically that is such an important thing, but we've really lost, right? We kind of lost the appreciation for where food comes from and to be thankful for it. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good reason to reflect on and to celebrate that every year. And they do it for an entire month, which I think is also quite interesting. Well, I mean, I also celebrate my birthday for an entire month.
Right.
So I'm used to it, but I'm surprised that there's another June festival, which is people doing the same. Maybe they heard about my birthday also.
Probably. It might even just be celebrating your birthday.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, that's all the time we have for today, and we hope that you enjoyed, just like we did, learning about Festa Junina. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
节庆一定要有美食才完整，六月节也不例外。那这些美食通常是以玉米为主，像传统食物就有包括玉米面包啊、蒸玉米，还有以玉米为主的布丁等等。那当然，另外也还有这种巴西风格的热狗啊，还有这个葡萄牙薯蓉青菜汤。那么课文最后写到说，六月节在巴西文化中占有重要地位，非常值得体验。从小村庄到热闹的城市，在六月期间，无论是去巴西的哪个地方，肯定都会玩得很开心。我们来看单字 exception， 它表示例外、除外。我们可以用 be 动词加 no exception 去表达不例外。再补充一下 buzz， 它表示发出嗡嗡嗡的声音，像蜜蜂就会发出那种声音嘛 ，buzz 这样子。那它还可以表达繁忙、充满活力的意思。那像文中，它就是用现在分词 buzzing 去形容说是热闹的。这时候 Matt 老师他用到 vibrant 这个字 ，vibrant，vibrant 它可以形容是充满生气的。好，这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们第一个重点来看 no 什么什么 without 加上名词或动名词，那这是用双重否定，也就是用 no 搭配 without 来强调肯定的句型，表示说没有什么什么就不会怎么样，一定要什么什么才会怎么样。举例来说 No birthday cake would be complete without candles. 生日蛋糕一定要有蜡烛才行。好，第二个重点是 be worth 加上名词或动名词，这是指说值得做什么的，或是具有什么样的价值。Worth 在这边呢是表达值得的，或是有什么价值的。例如 The castle is absolutely worth a visit. 那座城堡绝对值得造访。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
In modern times, Festa Junina is considered a celebration of rural life, so many people dress in classic country style. Men typically wear straw hats and patterned shirts to look like farmers, while women wear their hair in pigtails and put on printed cotton dresses to portray country girls. As for children, they enjoy classic activities like three-legged races and ring toss. The festivities also feature plenty of music and dancing. Every year, people dressed in costumes join a kind of square dance called the quadrilla. Many dances tell stories set to music known as foro. This music is played with accordions and triangles and accompanied by lyrics about the difficult life of farmers in the countryside. In spite of the hard-knock lyrics, the music is cheerful and lively. No festival is complete without delicious food, and Festa Junina is no exception. Corn is usually featured in many forms, and traditional eats include cornbread, steamed corn, and corn-based pudding. Brazilian-style hot dogs and Portuguese green soup are also dishes enjoyed across the country. Festa Junina is a huge part of Brazil's culture and is well worth experiencing. From small villages to buzzing cities, wherever you go in Brazil during the month of June, you are sure to have a wonderful time.
Standing next to Taichung Park is Sunshine Plaza. Established in 2008, Sunshine Plaza was the first major outlet shopping center in central Taiwan. The elevated concourse creates a comfortable atmosphere for shoppers. The outlet houses more than 170 famous domestic and international brands and provides discounts of up to 90% off. The outlet carries sports and outdoor leisure products, imported casual and formal men's apparel, and Japanese and other imported designer women's apparel. There are also restaurants. You can buy everything you need from head to toe at Sunshine Plaza. Sunshine Plaza also exclusively offers popular domestic brands, such as Huang Shu Qi and Du Shangli. Brands including Aldo, Dr. Martens, Fashion Monger Wedding, and Trippin can also be found in Sunshine Plaza. Whether you're looking to add the latest fashion to your wardrobe or just planning on window shopping, Sunshine Plaza meets every expectation. In the past 7 years, Sunshine Plaza has held many themed sales, such as clearance sales on slightly defective boutique bags, buy a bag and get a wallet free, and cosmetics sales. Kiroya Shabu Shabu, a restaurant founded by Sunshine Plaza's CEO, Guo Dingyang, is located on the second floor. Kiroya Shabu Shabu has more than 25 types of vegetables for customers to choose from, and it's all you can eat. A traditional Japanese method is used to cook the broth, and each meal comes with quality meat and soba or udon. After a long day of shopping, customers can have refreshing and healthy meals at Kiroya Shabu Shabu while enjoying the beauty of Taichung Park.